What's going on, Mets fans? What a win, 8-1 over the Nationals. David Peterson giving us what we needed. Length out of the starting rotation. Goes 8, gives up 1, strikes out 10. Everybody's hitting home runs. Soto, McNeil, Vientos. 4 home runs to support. Hitting early with runners in scoring position, Dan, and extra base hits. Put Washington away early with that 5 spot in the 3rd inning. Positive vibes as the New York Mets win their 3rd in a row. And yes, earlier I called for 2 out of 3, but I want a sweep. And also we got some positive news coming out of the minor leagues. We'll get that to in a minute, Dan.
Let's go. You can now consider it a winning streak for the New York Mets. 3 in a row. They needed this so badly. They got it, and the offense came alive today. They were barreling up baseballs nonstop, and it was a great thing to see. As you mentioned, Peterson, I mean, his numbers, we'll dive into them later, but he just owns the Nationals. Even going back to last year, he had 25 and a third scoreless streak, got up to 26, I believe. They had the double play, and they conceded the run, but again, great game. And Stanek, hey, mop-up duty, that's going to be his role moving forward. So the Mets, hopefully they can continue to roll along themselves.
Dan, what a difference his bullpen has made now that Ryan Stanek was our setup guy coming into the year, failing after failing after failing, to think that David Stearns addressed this bullpen and what it is now. And let's quickly get into David Peterson. 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. But the big stat of the day, Dan, only allowed 1 walk over 8 innings. They're throwing strikes. And I think that's one thing this pitching coaching or this pitching staff has identified with the Washington Nationals. You saw it. Stanek in mop-up duty as well, just throwing fastball after fastball after fastball. They're like, do not mess around. Don't walk anybody. Pitch to contact. And one other thing I want to throw out there, how about that play made at third base by Brett Beatty today? It just goes to show you he needs to be there, either him or Mauricio every day. And Beatty had a really tough at-bat early on today. And, you know, overall, this team, they're doing what they're supposed to do. And a week or two ago, we're not saying that. We're getting swept by the Pirates, swept by the Guardians. We're taking care of business where it needs to be taken care of. And I want to get to your comments. What do you think about David Stearns and his effort today? As his ERA drops to a 3.19 on the season.
Peterson, great. I mean, his numbers against the Nationals themselves in 2025, 17 innings pitched, so you're obviously counting the complete game. And then today, 10 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, as you said, 16 strikeouts and 17 innings pitched. Just this year alone, you can go back to July 11th of last year. I mean, that's where you get up to the 25 innings. I mean, he was unbelievable. It was July 1st of last year. He didn't have a great outing, but he bounced back, and he's never looked back since. So shout out David Peterson. He's been the only guy that's gone 6, 7, 8 innings so far this year for the Mets. Nobody's even gotten to that upper echelon. So hopefully this is a mold that the Mets can follow. But again, it's August, right? You need guys to step up, and Peterson's doing exactly that.
Yeah, and I want to look up a stat really quick as I'm looking. Okay, so here we go. This is why Brett Beatty needs to be given everyday opportunities at third base, regardless. The month of August, so we're talking 11 games, 2 against the Giants, 2 against Cleveland, 1 against Milwaukee, 3 against Atlanta, 2 against Seattle, and then today, he is hitting .333 over those 11 games, now has 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and the big thing is he's walking. He's got 4 walks over those games. He does have the 6 strikeouts, so that's a little bit high. But outside of that, the guy's hitting in the mid-300s over his last 11. He looks way comfortable at the plate. And something you brought up earlier during our last live, he's got to hit down in the lineup. And it's more important to have him and Vientos in the lineup now that Francisco Alvarez is done for the foreseeable future and potentially the season. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Cedric Mullen gets a hit at the bottom of the order. And I just want to run through who did what today. Lindor, once again, stays hot. Even though he had the 3 Ks early on, he had the big double. McNeil had a double. Torrens had a double. Vientos with the home run. Beatty with the home run. Soto with the home run. And McNeil with the late home run as well. You had Beatty, Beatty with an RBI, Lindor with an RBI, McNeil with an RBI, Mullins, Nimmo had 2, Soto, Torrens, Vientos, everybody pitching in today. 2 out RBIs, McNeil and Vientos, and runners left in scoring position with 2 outs, Beatty, Soto. That's it. We're hitting when we need to hit, which is something that we haven't done in forever. We've been talking about it forever, Dan. This lineup is way too good to not be where they need to be. And somebody we got to tip our cap to, who's been playing very well as of late, is Mark Vientos. He needs to get the everyday DH instead of Starling Marte. I'm not saying Starling Marte can't ever get in at bat, but Vientos is coming on the month of August. He was hot last year. See if you could catch fire again going into the postseason, because then this lineup is last year's lineup with the addition of Juan Soto, who we all know what he does in October. And that's what excites me about this team. One thing I'll tell you guys that annoys me a little bit, and Dan, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Can we not get an update on the Phillies score every 5 seconds? I want to focus on the game in front of us. If we catch the Phillies, we catch the Phillies. But I want to focus on Washington. I want to focus on the Reds. Tell me the scores of the other wildcard teams that we need to get in front of. We're behind a couple of teams up there. That's where I want to hear. I'm not focused on the division right now. You got to beat Washington. And then you know what happens? Philly will take care of themselves, and then we have to play them 7 more times. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't want to know that they're winning right now, 6-4 over the Mariners. But yeah, no, I get your – but that's the point, right? We shouldn't be scoreboard watching. We need to watch our scoreboard as Mets fans. We need to get into the playoffs. That's the bottom line. Like, anything can happen. There is still teams very hungry. There's still a lot of games to go, 38, I believe. I could be wrong, just off. But, again, like, that's what you're looking at. You want to make it into the playoffs, and then anything can happen. That's the old cliche, but it's true. I mean, look at past teams. Look at the Diamondbacks and Rangers in 23, right? Like, nobody expected those teams to do what they did, but they got into the playoffs and went on a run. So I think the Mets are going to hopefully follow that similar mold. Probably going to be a wild card series and probably going to be matched up against a Dodger team, most likely, or even who knows how it works out, but most likely you're not going to have home field advantage. So you're going to need these young players to step up. And you talked about Vientos 100%. Got to tip our cap because we were definitely getting on his case. But you saw it with the 11-game hit streak. He slowly was coming around, and now he's finally arrived. Back-to-back games with a home run. He's an unbelievable player when he gets going, no doubt about it. But he has to continue to get going. He's not off the hook yet, but I love what I'm seeing from him. And he really does make this lineup a lot deeper, and especially, as you said, with the absence of Francisco Alvarez, you're going to need these young guys. Going to need Beatty, Vientos, even Luis Torrens. Nice little single today. So, again, just keep it going, and hopefully this team can pick up in the absence of, obviously, the big news of the day in Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm taking a quick look at those wild card standings. Everybody's right around 500. The Mets are 4-6 over their last 10. We were 1-9 at one point. We got those 3 wins. But you look at San Diego's 5-5. They've lost 4 in a row. And the Cubs are also 5-5. San Diego's got a 2-game lead, but let's not make a mistake here. The Reds are a game and a half behind us, but they're 6-4 over their last 10 with 2 straight wins. And then it's pretty much a one-team race. St. Louis is 5.5 out. They're 4-6 over their last 10. I'll worry about them when they come within 2.5 games. That's kind of my barometer. But what I'm just hoping now is I'm really watching the Reds and the Padres. Could we get into that 2 seed? Could we separate ourselves a little bit from the Reds where, hey, the road might be a lot harder. And I know the division's not over. Don't shoot the messenger. What I'm saying is if we're going to end up playing for a wild card, I want to go into the last series knowing it's already locked up and we could set our pitching where we need to pitch, because that's what I was talking about. A lot of fans were saying, well, Ray, it didn't matter. Look what we did last year with the wild card. Last year's not this year. The teams that are in the divisional rounds are going to have the opportunity to set their pitching staff, and we don't know what's going on with the Zach Wheeler injury. I hope he's okay. I hope he comes back okay. You never want to wish injury on anybody. But what I'm trying to say is we want to be able to set up our pitching staff. Now, I'm excited for Nolan Mlan's next time around. And one player I would like to bring up, something we could touch on. Let me pull it up so I don't look like a fool with the wrong stats. Our guy down in the minors today, Brandon Sproat, once again lighting it up down in AAA. I don't understand why he's still down there, but here we have it from Metcast. Metcast report. Mets right-handed pitcher Brandon Stroh keeps dominating. Six innings pitch, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 Ks, topped out at 99.2 and hit 99 multiple times. He has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 of his last 9 starts. Dan, for me, the kid has nothing left to prove. We are past August 15th. There's no reason to have him down there anymore. I say you go one time further through the rotation. Maybe you get to that September 1st call-up, which is just, about 11 days away. So maybe you get 2 more times through, and whoever's faulting, your job is potentially on line. Or maybe the New York Mets finally decide we're going to stick with a 6-man rotation, because when Kodai Senga doesn't have 5 days of rest, he is not good. And then worst comes to worst, you take your 3 or 4 best starters or 3 best starters, put them in the wild card round. Everybody else goes in the bullpen. And yes, people think I'm nuts. We've seen it in the past before. If Nolan Mlan, look, I want to take a step back. I'm not going to say he's Matt Harvey. I know a lot of people think he is, has that potential. I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't know. But what I'm saying is he's going to get 4, 5 starts before the postseason starts. If he's dominant in 3 of those, Dan, and Clay Holmes is still faltering, or dare I say, and I can't believe, I know Met fans are going to get on me, if Sean Manaea still can't throw strikes and is throwing 91 instead of 93, which we all know that's a big difference in the major leagues, and he's getting teed off, their slots in the postseason cannot be guaranteed. And maybe you feel different, Dan. Let me know.
I'm at the point, Ray, I don't want to obviously jump the gun. We've seen 1 start from Nolan Mlan, but if this trend continues, right, where he looks nasty going into the postseason, I'd even maybe start him game 1 of a series. That's the way I see it, because you don't really trust Senga. You don't really trust Manaea. As you said, 91 versus 93. Sometimes as a lefty, your velocity can play up a couple ticks. So say it's playing up from 91 to 92 or 93, as opposed to last year when 93 looked like 95, 96. And you're not seeing that this year. So, he's still getting the strikeouts, Manaea, of course. I get it, but he doesn't look the same. And the loose bodies in his elbows certainly is something that's going to need to have surgery eventually, whether we like it or not. Same thing with Alvarez, right? Like, these injuries need to be taken care of for the betterment of the player, but also for the betterment of the team. And I think the betterment of the team, you're starting Nolan Mlan in a game 1 or 2 situation. You could sell me on a game 3, of course, but those are the games the Mets are going to be playing. 3 games in the postseason, because they're going to be a wild card team, right? We keep forgetting this. If they win the division, amazing. You can take a step back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can take that step back and make sure to set your lineup and rotation as you see fit, but you're not going to have that, ability. So you're going to have to go with who you trust. And we know we trust Peterson. We know we trust Mlan. Odds are it is going to be that, deciding factor between.
Is Peterson your number 1 starter right now in the postseason?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have to be?
Most likely, yeah. I mean, McLean's jumping the gun. You have to see how his final couple starts go. But, yeah, it would be Peterson at this point, McLean 2nd, and, even McLean 3. But, Senga and Manaea are really battling it out, and I wonder who they're going to go with. Odds are obviously Senga, but, yeah, Manaea's a little shaky right now, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and look, we were all on this train a while ago, and I'll get to a couple of your guys' comments before we log off. We're going to keep it short tonight. Our post games we like to keep anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I will say this. I originally thought there was a potential for Brandon Sproat to go to the bullpen, but now that he's dominating the way he is as a starter, I don't think you could do it, especially with the inning stuff. I know he's done it in the past at Florida. He came out as a reliever, but I don't think it would be fair to him that, hey, come in and let's just air it out. But I will say this. If his stuff plays up like it's playing up in AAA, and you add him another cog in the bullpen towards the end, which, let's be honest, you may bring up Brandon Sproat, which Ron Darling had a piece with the Post and John Heyman. Great job over there talking about Brandon Sproat being the potential September 1st call-up. Dan, we could be entering a wild card series where we're starting Manaea, Senga, Peterson, but your bullpen's Brandon Sproat, Nolan Mlan, Ryan Helsley, Tyler Rogers, Edwin Diaz, Gregory Soto. You literally go 7 deep, where I say, you know what? At that point, see you, Ryan Stanek. Reed Garrett, if he's still struggling, which he has been the entire month of August, see ya. We are now going to be a result-driven pen, and we have these young arms. I mean, I'm telling you, I could see a Nolan Mlan pitching 2 brilliant innings in a playoff game. It's right there for you. You could just think about it. Like, we're going to start off Senga, and if any signs, we're going right to the kid. I could see that. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Put him in the pen. Low risk. Obviously, you don't want to kill his confidence too early. You don't want to throw him into the fire. We talked about the mental difference between Sproat and McLean. There's a clear mental difference. Stuff difference, maybe not. Like, they're both very good players. We heard from Ernest last night. Like, the stuff is for real with Brandon Sproat. But, again, you don't want to throw him into the fire too soon if you don't have to. And I bring it up all the time. Like, Reed Garrett's been struggling, as you mentioned. Absolutely. Stanek would be, the first guy on the chopping block, if you will, because he doesn't have options. Reed Garrett does. So it is something to think about. He has that one final option remaining. Who knows if they use it, but it's something to definitely think about.
All right, so we'll get to a couple of your guys' comments. Do us a favor. Make sure you give us that thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. Make sure you subscribe, as we're here pretty much every single night after every New York Mets game. Andre says, Mets are finally waking up. I mean, geez. Bob over there on Facebook, exhale, finally. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but it would be nice to leave this series on a 5-game win streak with the signs pointing up. This team needed confidence, and who knows? We spoke about it, Dan. Maybe Nolan Mlan was the shot in the arm this team needed.
Sure. Definitely.
Mets should go with this lineup. Send Mauricio down and get Acuna up. Acuna, who went, I believe, 2 for 3 tonight. If you're not going to play Mauricio, I could understand Acuna. Acuna, to me, makes way more sense on a postseason roster than a regular season roster. We see it every year. A tight game, Soto doubles off the fence in the 9th inning with nobody out. You pinch run with Acuna, who ends up scoring the game-winning run. We've seen that in the past before. I think they're going to give Mauricio a chance, but I did see his splits earlier today. He's hitting, don't quote me, 250s, 260s, right, left-handed with a little bit of pop. His OPS in the 700s. He's hitting like 166 or 188, something like that, right-handed. I think there's a good chance he gives that up this offseason.
It's an idea. I'm not going to put it past the Mets. If you want to get the most out of Mauricio, absolutely. Like, there's value in a switch hitter, no doubt, but you have to be able to switch hit from both sides of the plate, and Mauricio's really having a struggle. So if he can't figure it out in the minor leagues, it's definitely going to be something that they consider.
Thomas writes, hopefully Alonso will be off the bus tomorrow night. Dan, we saw it the other night. You called it out. I'm watching tonight. He's messing up right now. He's swinging at those pitches that are in the other batter's box again. They're getting him out. He's got to start going the other way. Plain and simple.
Yep. Let the ball travel.
Alan writes, the Nolan Mlan start rejuvenated his team, and dare I say, Beatty finding his groove. Preseason, who was my breakout player? Maybe it happens in the month of August. I said Brett Beatty was my breakout player to watch this year. I still think he has all the tools. With Brett Beatty, for me, it's all about confidence. Last year, what kept happening, Dan? He kept trying to hit home runs. You had these hitting coaches telling him, you got to lift the ball, you got to lift the ball. And I think he started rolling over, trying to pull the ball. And one good thing that we could talk about today on a side note, Juan Soto, opposite field missile. I'm telling you guys, bookmark this, clip this. He is about to break out. That is Juan Soto. Dan, I've been calling it. When's the last time you saw him hit a missile to left field? Bing! Tonight is the start of something special.
Juan Solo. No, I can't. It is.
Skip says Acuna up now. I could see it. We'll get to one or two more. Let's get to one or two more. My honey's checking in. Hi, hon. I see your comment. Chris, let's effing go Mets. Michael wrote, who's pitching tomorrow? Dan, do you know?
What is it, Senga tomorrow?
It might be. Feels like it's been a minute if you want to look that up.
Mets probable pitchers for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Metcast. Brad Lord against Kodai Senga, and then we have Sean Manaea against Mackenzie.
We need Senga to go deep again. Give this bullpen some damn rest. It would be beautiful. Go 7, Senga. I'm not asking you to go 8 or 9. Go 7. Allow the Mets pitching or hitting to do what it's got to do, a little mop-up duty, and give these guys a rest because we know the gauntlet that's right around the corner.
Yeah, schedule's not getting easier.
Yep. Ray Rivera says, yeah, no scoreboard watching. We control our own destiny. We actually do right now. We are in the final spot. KG, what's going on? Hope all is well with you. Jose says, Alonso getting out of the strike zone again. I agree. Hi, honey. How you doing? Let's see. D writes, I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Mets lately. I agree. Michael asks, Dan, you having a space later? Who cares? I'm sure Danny is. Danny's always having a space. We call him Danny Spaces over here. Robert writes, another loss for Syracuse tonight. Davinsky, shocker, blows a 3-run lead in the top and a 9, not allowing. I don't care about wins, losses in AAA. I just don't. Goomba, what's going on? What up, fellas? Let's go Mets. More wins last 3 games than all month. We're back. Hopefully. I'm hoping, man. Goomba, I will say this. You've been with us through the ups and the downs, me crashing out on this platform. I just want to win. And one thing I want to tell you guys really quickly while we're here, Dan and I and the Metcast platform exclusively are contemplating a viewership giveaway where later on in the month, it'd probably be a Friday night where we'll be giving away a pair of tickets to join Dan and I at a game, all paid for by Metcast. Let us know in the comments if you'd be interested in that type of giveaway wherever you're watching this, whether it's Facebook, X, or on YouTube. I want to gauge the interest of the platform. I see every single time we go live, our lives 2,000-3,000, but a lot of it's on replay. So if you're watching this replay, do us a favor in the comments. Let us know if you'd be interested in going to a game with Dan and I. With that said, we'll go to 1 or 2 more. Daniel Peterson versus Washington this season. 17 innings pitched, 10 hits, 16 Ks, 1 walk, and 1 earned run. And that 1 walk came today. Daniel, thanks for checking in. We'll get to 1 more. Who am I going to close it off? But D. Nope. Oh, look, D. Yeah, actually, Ray is right. That's how. No, appreciate that. Let's actually check out with one of our members who, remember, if you're a member of the channel on YouTube, you're guaranteed to get your questions or comments. Red Buzz, one of our YouTube members over there, the Metcast crew. What's good, fellas? Nice to see 3 in a row. Let's go, Mets. Let's keep winning. Guys, that's where we're going to end it for tonight. Please like and subscribe. Consider becoming a member, as we always say. And like I said, be sure to put in the comments if you'd be interested in the giveaway. And they're not going to be crappy seats. If we do it at Metcast, we do it right. But that's all we got for you tonight, as always.
Hey, before we sign off,
go ahead, Dan.
I got to give you your flowers. Obviously, this is a collaborative ship here on Metcast, but Ray puts his heart, sweat, and tears into this. And I don't say that lightly. He does. And you guys see it on all the platforms. And I just want to give Ray a shout out for hitting 35,000 followers on Facebook and 15,000 followers on X. That doesn't include TikTok, Instagram, but that's a really big milestone, buddy. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what we built here. And hopefully we keep it going. Hopefully the Mets do as well. Make it 4 in a row.
That's what it's about. It's about the fan. Like I've said since the beginning, guys, Dan and I were fans. I'll shoot it to you straight, even though people call me from random place. Ray, you got to be positive about the team. If you want a sponsor or two, get rid of the sponsors. I don't want them. I keep it a buck, and so does Dan. But I appreciate that, Dan, so much. You've been with me for forever, so you're just as much to credit for that as well. But we'll be with you guys again tomorrow. Let's get this 4th win in a row. No excuses. Washington sucks. End of story. Let's go Mets.
Mets.
Peace.
Peace, guys.